Hello, welcome back to part 10 of our Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts Let's Play campaign for Spain. And in the last episode, we signed a peace treaty with Italy, so the war is now over with them. This will update when we took over onto the next turn. Just as a summary, we won the war, but we didn't take any territory. We just took the cash from them. We have several new ships building, a couple of new armoured cruisers, several light cruisers, protector cruisers, and no torpedo boats at the moment. Politics-wise, we've got pretty good fleet, pretty big fleet anyway. Not necessarily good. GDP's growing, but our army logistics is still pretty poor. Just looking at the empire as it is, we've got some capital ships around the homelands, around homeland Spain. We've got some of the older battleships in Cuba, and then this episode we don't really have anything out in and around the Philippines. Capital ships wise, we've got an armored cruiser at Manila, an armor and protected cruiser, and a torpedo boat down at Davao, and then we've got a few scattered light ships here. We actually have, I think at Truk, quite a large flotilla of torpedo boats, but we don't really have anything else out here of note. And looking at politics wise, it looks like we might have a war coming up with one of the Asian powers soon, either the Soviet Union, which obviously has some territories up here. We might need to face a invasion possibly from them. So if we move on the turns, first of all we'll do our political action. We are going to decrease our relations with the Soviet Union. And we haven't got any research or anything coming up quite yet, so we'll move on to the next term. Pretty much everyone dislikes us now, and I still want to avoid going to war with the French. We've got advanced technology, and we're currently still building our bigger shipyard, so British Empire has some oil. Kiel Canal has opened. And okay, so we decreased relations, but they attempted to increase relations with us at the same time, so we failed there. Okay, not much else going on in the world. Our capital ships, which were returning from Italy, have almost made it back to port, and it still says we're blockading them. I'm sure we signed a peace treaty with the Italians, did we not? I guess can you blockade out of war? I guess you can. Research-wise, not really a lot going on. That's due to finish. Some basic crew medical treatment for internal protection. Bigger torpedo boats in 9 months. I'm not going to put any priorities into anything at the moment. We'll see what this new small gun upgrade will be when it's over 60%, and we can see what it is. So just move straight on to the next turn. Italy has stabilised their economy. British Empire strengthens relations with us. And I think I actually forgot to do my relation penalty there, so let's do that now. We'll go with the Soviet Union again. If this one doesn't work this time, we'll switch back to the USA. Finances wise, now their ships are in port. Let's put everything back to limited. See how that makes our finances. Still minus 16. I don't really want to reduce the tech budget, and we are still building our increased capacity in our shipyards, so we'll leave that as it is. We have these light cruisers which finish in 2 months, and the armoured cruisers in 4 months, so we'll leave those as they are and head on to the next turn. Bit of a quiet period at the moment. We still haven't had any requests for a alliance from any minor nations, which would be useful right now because we could use the the added income of building some ships for them, since we've got some capacity in our shipyards. Got common pointed capped shells, improved gun range, penetration, muzzle velocity at the expense of, well, everything else. Okay, yep, so we succeeded in annoying the Soviets. Somalia has taken up arms against the Italian Empire. So down here, there's rebellion going on. You would hope that's because we have destabilized them so much and they haven't got anything else to go over there. The Italians are fleetless at the moment and only building one ship. They still have a bigger economy than us by 10 billion, but yeah, they don't have anything they can do anything with, but they do have good relations with everyone apart from us, obviously. So in terms of the next war, I haven't got, like I say, I don't want to go to war with Chinese or the Japanese until we get some better ships over there, really. I'm actually going to go with the Soviets again. Oh, I can't because we did it last time. With the we'll go with the US this time. Increase tensions with them. Finance-wise, 38% rather on our new shipyards. Let's just race a few more turns till we get something of note. So halfway through 1895 nearly, and got a tech advance still, so that's good. So British Empire Finance Minister received a severe blow on the head by protesters. So we can take the prestige and damage relations. Yeah, that's fine. Let's take the most prestige we can. 5, and yeah, let's take that. Prestige is fine at the moment. Okay, so Soviets present an ultimatum demanding the extradition of a defector who requests an amnesty in our country. What should we do here? So, we can take the prestige, reduce our unrest, which isn't high anyway, damage our relations. Or we can get some cash. Okay, so we can sell him back to them, and we still damage our relations with them, but we do gain some funds. Let's do that. That'll pay for our deficit for a month. Okay, so we've got the basic crew medical treatment now. Smoke composition 1, improved duration and cooldown. Okay, deteriorated relations with the US. Okay, so there's numerous minor wars going on. Let's see if we can see anything else coming up. So, more funnels in 4 months. That bigger torpedo boat. And torpedo propulsion, still nothing really I want to put a priority into at the minute. So politics wise, we'll go Soviets again. And if you're wondering, if you haven't watched previous episodes, why I am constantly increasing relations with everyone, I've sort of set the challenge with this campaign that we will, if we're not using our political action for something else, we will every turn decrease relations with at least someone. So we should be at war most of the time. Although obviously it's mostly dependent on kind of events that happen as we go through. The Soviets ignored us. It does mean we lose a lot of prestige, but we've won a couple of wars so far, and that has kind of got our prestige up. So we can't do the Soviets again, so we'll bounce between them and the US currently. See if we can see what that small gun research is now. Mark 2 3-inch, which will be useful, but not worth putting a priority into at the moment, I don't think. Although I guess it would go along nicely with our new torpedo boats. If we do priority, it comes down to 3 months. But obviously that's at the expense of everything else, so now we'll leave it as it is. Maybe when the boilers unlock, we will put it into something else. The ships are now built, those light cruisers. They are spread around, and then our armoured cruisers 2 months away. So let's head on. So we're up to 57 ships now. Still in the minus, in the money, but not by much, so we'll leave it as it is. If we build up enough surplus, I think as soon as those shipyards expand, we will just order another expansion of them. Then when they're done, I think we have another hull that we haven't used for the battleship, so we could design a new battleships. That might be our new flagship, and we can send some of our old ones over to the Philippines. So defenses minefields increased in size. Failed again to increase tensions with the US. We really need some better diplomats. So let's go back to the Soviets. And let's just have a look what our tonnage limits are for the new hull for the battleship. Oh, okay, so we can actually build it as it is. I think the... Okay, so the displacement, minimum displacement on that one, or max rather, is about 13,000. So this is our current battleship hull, or a newer one. What can we go up to there? 13. So they're about the same, but we only have 3 of this hull. We might design a new battleship in this hull, but we will probably unlock some more technologies first, make it more worthwhile. We've got 8 battleships at the minute, which is about the same as the other biggest power, I think. So that will do for now. Let's just check where we stand. So British Empire 13, French only have 2. It looks like they are refitting a lot of their fleet. They're building 39 ships apparently. Soviets 6, Chinese 4, Austro-Hungarians only 1, Germans 1. But again, it looks like they're maybe refitting a load. And then, so Italy still only has 1 shipbuilding. Looks like Japanese are refitting a bunch as well, and the American fleet is still pretty small. In terms of the politics, we've already increased our tensions this turn, so yeah, let's just move on. Hoping we'll get some decent technologies soon, which makes it worthwhile redesigning some of the ships. I'm still really unhappy with our armoured cruiser. Okay, yep. Soviets hit us. Okay, a few more conflicts going on. So Soviets, yep, we're almost at war with those. So we can't go for them again 2 turns in a row, so we'll go for the US research. We're getting those new boilers, not boilers, the funnels soon. And the destroyer, what's this one? Improved structural steel. So that will be... I wonder if that will give us the next level up on the arm. Oh no, that's armor quality, isn't it? And we haven't really got any, apart from the torpedo boat, we haven't really got any hulls unlocking anytime soon by the looks of it. Could I just bump that up to, because I would like some bigger torpedo boats, so I'm just going to bump that up to priority and get that unlocked the next turn. Finance wise, we're almost coming back into the black, so that's good. Yeah, so armoured cruiser wise, there's not really a lot on that we can do to improve it. We have got better, I think 9-inch, is it Mark II 9-inch, but they're kind of a little bit too big for that hull really. So moving on, hopefully we'll get an ultimatum from the Soviets. And if we do, so they do have obviously a few bases over in Siberia, like Vladivostok, but I don't think they've got a huge fleet over there. But we will move some of our ships. So, okay, the majority of the parliament calls for immediate action against the German Empire. Okay. So we can take a nice chunk of cash there and annoy the Germans. Or we can kind of put in nothing. Let's take the cash. So advanced funnels, that's good. New torpedo boats up to 500 tons. USAtors. Okay, let's immediately go back in and increase tensions with the Soviets. And then fleet-wise, so what do we have we could send over to the Philippines just to bolster that force? So we've got, these are our two older battleships. The Victorioso was kind of the star of the early war with the Americans. So we could move these two battleships over with the heavy cruiser as an escort into the Philippines, which I think I might do because we've got up at, I think, Barcelona. Yeah, our three more modern ones with a bunch of light cruisers. And before the war starts, we can probably get them over there. Where were they? I've lost them again. Valencia? Yes. Okay, we're going to move all of these ships over to the Philippines. And we'll move them into Manila. It'll obviously cost us some more money to put them to sea. And then let's see if we can see what the Russians have up here. Nothing at Vladivostok. Nothing here. Nothing here. What about these two? Nope. What's their fleet like? They do have battleships. It must all be over in the west. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay. Okay, so in that case, we're going to move our older battleships over to the east, which means obviously we'll be fighting their main fleet in the west. Armor forging. Yeah, okay. Let's just move on to the next turn, see what happens, and then might be worth us cranking out a couple more battleships while we've got the funds. Hey, we've got some oil resources in the Philippines that'll help with our GDP. Okay, so a political party wants to reduce financing to the fleet. So we can speak about the threat of the Empire of Japan, ignore it, which improves the GDP, support them. So we'll lose our naval budget if we go with one of these options, but long term, 2% boost to GDP would be a good idea, but let's go middle. We'll go for the 1%. Several of our country's shipbuilding industries are constructing warships for third countries. What is your opinion? Okay, so we can improve relations with everyone, take the GDP, or annoy everyone and take some prestige. I'm going to take the 0.5% increase to GDP. Improve relations with the British. Didn't work with the Soviets. So we try our hardest, but no one wants to attack us really. Let's go for the US again this turn. And I think I might build another battleship of our Madrid class. So it's 4 years old now. What are we in? 95. Okay, we will just move on to the next turn. I think I'll design a newer battleship, since that's about 4 years old, soon to be about 5 years old. Probably can't do a lot better at the minute, but Minister of Foreign Affairs believes that the fleet needs more cruisers. He's probably right. Agree. Oh, that's a nice bit of cash. I'm not even going to consider the rest. Let's take that. That'll pay for our new battleships. Okay, decreased relations with the US. Okay. We haven't had any conquest requests or anything recently. Give the Soviets again. Research wise, nope. Okay, let's design a new battleship with that other hull. Although, let's just check the... Yeah, so the tonnage limit on our shipyards has increased. And since we've got that big influx of cash from that event, let's up them again, just so when new hulls are unlocked, we can immediately start building them. What's that do? Yeah, that's not too bad finance-wise. And then, yeah, let's have a look. Building a new battleship design. We'll try and build 3 of these as well to match our 3 Madrid class. But I wonder if we can actually improve them much. So the Madrid is... Okay, Madrid is 11,000 tons and has a top speed of only 16. Let's see if we can get a slightly faster... So that was that hull. Let's see if we can get these ones maybe up to 18 knots. Ah, we got a cage mass, which is worse aiming speed and base accuracy, but it's got a much better long range accuracy, which probably doesn't make much sense in a minute because we have such terrible accuracy on our guns. And will it even fit actually? Oh, it won't fit. I was going to say let's just go for it anyway because they look cool. We'll have to go with a normal front tower. Secondary tower. Let's go for the best rear one. Funnels. I don't think we have induced boilers. In fact, let's just make this the biggest we can. 15 and a half. 15,635. Okay. And let's start off with 18 knots and see how we get there. Probably not going to achieve that, but this is going to be much bigger than our current one. And that only gives us 20% engine efficiency, and we still don't have induced boilers, so we can get 2 of these in. That brings us up to 37. Yeah, still terrible on our engine efficiency. Triple expansion gets us up to 50, 60%, and let's just reduce the tonnage slightly. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Let's go to 14. Oh yeah, then we can't fit the other funnel. Can we squeeze it in? Nope. Really would like induced boilers. We're struggling at the minute in terms of engine efficiency. But let's put both these. That gets us up to 63. Keep the 16 knots. That'll do for now. We might just have to deal with it. Can't do anything else really about the boilers. Let's put it up to nickel steel. Double bottom. Citadel 1 and a coincidence rangefinder. And let's have a look at our guns. So mark wise, we have got Mark 2 9-inch, Mark 1 10-inch, Mark 1 11, Mark 1 12, and Mark 1 13-inch. The Madrid class has 12-inch. Let's try and chuck a couple of 13 inches on here. Probably shouldn't really bother worrying too much about how these are shaping up because they're going to be obsolete within a few years anyway. We've got some secondary turrets now we can place, but there's nowhere really on this hull to put them. So we will see if we can fit these 3-inch ones in a few mounts. So we'll do that, and then we'll go for 6-inch casemates, which we can fit quite a few. And then, can we fit any more 3 inches? Yeah, a couple more. And then torpedoes. 2 side, 1 fore and 1 aft. Great. Max HE, we'll just go standard ratio on the primary guns. Gun cotton, white powder. We can get some bigger torps. Let's go for best reloading we can. We're nearly at the weight limit now, and our main deck armor, main belt armor isn't that great. So let's have a look what our 13-inch guns can penetrate at the minute. They are going to go through, well, pretty much anything at the minute. So we're not going to be able to do anything. I know there's like rules about how you should balance these things, but let's just get what we can. 10-inch, that's fine. 12-inch, just not. But we've got a massive 4-weight offset actually, which is an issue. %. Again, these are terrible ships, but I really don't mind at the minute. Okay, reduce 4 to 2.5. We can get a couple more fractions of an inch on our main belt. Main deck, our foredeck's gone really high, so let's reduce that to the same just to balance this up slightly. And then we can add that to the aft deck. That brings it just underweight. Put the rest on the conning tower. Okay, so what should we call these? We've already got Madrid class. We'll call these. Could call them Barcelona class. Why don't we call them Havana class? If we don't have that, I don't think we have that. Oh. So Havana class battleship, 16 knots, which again isn't great, but definitely we can do much better than that at the minute. And then a couple of 13-inch guns, and that'll do. Let's save that. And let's build 3 of these. They can operate with the Madrid class, and then it doesn't matter so much that we've spread our older ones out. Okay, how many should we build? Let's build, how much are they each? 82 million. Let's build 3. They will take 16 months. And our finances now, that's not too bad. That's fine. We've already done our politics action. Let's move on to the next term. Laos has been conquered by France. Okay. Nearly at war with the Soviets. They haven't given us an ultimatum or anything yet. Yeah, we're down at 95. We'll have to come back to them next turn for the relation decrease. Let's do the US again. And oh, that's fine. I thought that was going to be something engine related. Cruiser design in 4 months, which will give us a bigger heavy cruiser. I'm going to put a priority into that, and that might give us finally a better armoured cruiser hull that we can use to improve our current terrible armoured cruisers. So let's move on and see. And then I wonder if the Soviets will give us an ultimatum this turn. No. but the Austro-Hungarians are asking for financial aid. Okay. So it will increase our GDP by 1%, but we have to give 74 million. Which I don't want to do, so let's take the hit on the relations. So, okay, so armoured cruisers up to 6,000 tons, but no hulls, and then failed to antagonize the Americans. So let's go back to the Soviets, and hopefully this works this time. Let's see where our ships are that are heading over to the Philippines. And they're just passing through the been through the Red Sea, just heading out into the Indian Ocean. They are probably going to take, 10 more turns. They're too far from supply ports. Okay, let's move straight on to the next turn. See if we got our war with the Soviets. Yes, they do. So they have issued an ultimatum demanding we withdraw our fleet that is operating near their borders. Don't know what borders they are. Claiming that it threatens their trade lines with neighbouring countries. So, yeah, let's go to war. Gives us some prestige. Okay, what happens elsewhere? So, French don't like it, Germans don't like it. Everyone hates that, apart from the Austro-Hungarians, who must also hate the Soviets then. So let's have a look what we're dealing with. So Georgia's special relationship with the French. Okay. So our ships haven't made it over to here yet, but they still don't have any ships over here, I don't believe. So we can attack some of these ports. I don't really want to take any territory over here, I don't think. It's kind of, yeah, I know we've got the Philippines and stuff, but it's kind of out of the way, and it will just have a land border, most likely, with the Soviet Union, so we'll just get invaded again. They don't really have any territories at all that I want, but I just want the cash, and just to hurt their economy. What's this here? So, looks like a couple of battleships have left port. 2 battleships, 5 armoured cruisers, and then some smaller ships. Okay, let's head them off in the Bay of Biscay if we can. So we've got 3 battleships and quite a lot of light cruisers. Let's move them over to La Coruña. All of the battleships, please. And then we will send... So we have our new Leggera class light cruiser. We've got... I can't see the top of the pop-up, but it looks like we've got 3 possibly of those. 4 here. Okay, so we'll send... I think that's a Leggera class. We'll send that. We'll send torpedo boat. And then we'll send a couple of the older light cruisers as well. So they'll head over there. We already have a couple of armoured cruisers at Bilbao. And nothing else out that way. I know we're going to get the 3 battleships now over here, but I'm not really worried about that at the minute. Politics-wise, what's that done to us? So it's brought us closer to war with everyone else, well, apart from the Austro-Hungarians. So let's increase tensions with the Americans again. They don't really have a fleet that could challenge us at the moment, which is great. We got our boost to the economy, or not really to the economy, but we got our finances boosted. So we're going to up our crew training, we'll keep our tech budget where it is, and we can deal with that deficit. Okay, let's move on to the next turn and see if we get any events generated or battles. Probably not, because the ships are all sort of heading through the Baltic and the North Sea at the minute. And if we don't, we'll leave the episode there and pick up next time, when we'll hopefully have some battles to fight with the Soviets. So we've got our electric turrets, which only really increases traverse speed at the minute at the expense of weight and cost. British conquered Sarawak. Okay. A few other political actions and some battles. Okay, so these battleships are heading south still. Just moving that around within the Baltic. Okay, so it looks like all of their fleets really are in the Baltic currently. This one is heading... okay. Looks like it's heading over into the east, actually. They've realised they have no ships over there, so they're sending the 2nd Pacific Fleet over right at the start of the war. But what we will do is when our ships arrive in La Coruña, we'll try and intercept them around here and follow them and try and destroy them so they can't get anything to the east. So yeah, we'll leave that until next turn though. So we will leave the video there and pick it up with our war with the Soviets. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.